Okay, this is the FA Cup final preview for 2019. Obviously, Man City are playing Watford today at 5 o'clock kickoff in the FA Cup final. I'm not a fan of these late kickoffs for the FA Cup final for the away for the fans' sake. I'm really not a big fan of it, but it's for the TV market in the US. It's why they've done it. It's what it is. Now, Man City are the favourites for this game, heavily favoured. They're going for a domestic treble. But although we know how good they are in the league, and over a full season in the league, when it comes to cup games, even though they've won the League Cup, and that's fine, they had to win that on penalties, and they weren't fluent in that competition. And in the semi-final against Brighton, they did not look great. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't a pretty game. They might have scored early on with Gabriel Jesus, but after his goal, they didn't look that great. I wasn't sold on Man City that day. That was the televised free-to-air game. Now, Watford Wolves was on subscription TV, which I think was a mistake because that was the better game. Wolves were 2-0 up and lost 3-2. Watford came from behind and showed a lot of character and determination and a belief to do that. That has, I think, served them in good stead into this game. Watford can also play a bit as well. These are not hit it long and hope. This is a team that can get it on the deck, they can pass and move, and they can counter-attack very, very quickly. They've got some very pacey players, and they are set up for the counter-attack. Man City, if they misplace a pass or they're slow in possession and Watford are allowed to press that midfield, which they are going to do, Watford can break quickly. I think Man City's weakness is their defence. I think Watford's weakness is possibly intensity at times. They have to get the intensity right. They have to get the formation right. I will say this game is going to be a lot better than last year's FA Cup final, which was the most dreary cup final I've ever seen, decided by an Eden Hazard penalty. That was an appalling cup final. And Conte came out and said it wasn't great, but we did enough to win. That was a poor display of the quality that the Premier League has. It did not look great. It's not this. I think this game could be very open. The pressure is off Watford. The pressure game they went through was the semi-final against Wolves. They're not expected to win this game. They are rank outsiders. They are the underdog. For me, I think for them, the pressure is off. I think the pressure is fully on Man City for that treble. The pressure is fully on Guardiola to get his tactics right and his lineup right. This, could be the defining moment of Pep Guardiola's time in charge of Man City is this game. Because there's a few questions still being asked about Man City. Their failure in the Champions League regularly in the knockout stages is striking. They've been to the semi-final twice. That failure in the Champions League and the way they crashed out the Champions League the last 2 years is striking. They went missing in a pressure game, in a knockout game, winner-takes-all game. This is a winner-takes-all game. And it's one of the biggest games in the English footballing calendar and the world footballing calendar of domestic football, club football. It's one of the biggest games. It's one of the most historical trophies to go for. And Man City in these cup games have gone missing in the past. Watford, I think the pressure was off them because the pressure game for them was the semi-final. And how they came back from a 2-0 deficit says a lot about the character of the team. But I think defence is going to be where this game is won and lost. Now, Watford have to get their press right. They have to get the midfield right. Their energy in the midfield. Brighton started to look tired in the semi-final. But Brighton did disrupt Man City really effectively for 80-odd minutes. It's only with the goal that they really didn't disrupt Man City well. So Watford have to be pretty solid out the get-go and not allow Man City an early lead. Man City have to be careful from corners and free kicks because I do think defensively they are not sound. And also, if they turn the ball over in midfield, there's a misplaced pass, which does happen. That counter-attack, the defence, Otamendi and Laporte. I'm not sold on them as a partnership. Vincent Kompany, Laporte, yes. Vincent Kompany and Otamendi, possibly. Vincent Kompany and John Stones, to a point. Because Vincent Kompany can be there for his less experienced partner or his less competent partner who's a bit more free-flowing with their football and less defensively minded. Vincent Kompany shores up that defence. When he doesn't play, they look less solid. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to come down to Watford's energy and press and how they keep that going and their structure, and Man City's defence. This could be a very open game because both sides like the counter-attack, and this could be one of the most entertaining cup finals we've had in a long time. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, I'll do a match review on the FA Cup final. The whiteboard will be out, and yes, we'll be making notes and going through it as we do for every major sporting event that is live on TV. We'll be doing that. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Place your predictions on the score below. I'm going for a Watford win. I do think that the pressure's off them. They've had their pressure game. They came through that. They know what they can do as a team, and yeah, they can score goals as well and score goals quickly, as proven in the semi-final. Man City, they weren't as fluent in the final. They played a lot of extra games as well with the Champions League and League Cup and the league campaign itself. Will that have an effect? We shall see, but for now, thank you very much for watching, and I shall have the match review for you after the game.